Hello Linux lovers, my name's Wimpy. Welcome to my world. Right, so I'm obviously a Linux user. I use OBS. I've got a StreamDeck. There are StreamDeck graphical user interfaces for Linux. There's one in particular that I'm using. It was updated recently and it's got some cool new features which make it much easier to configure apart from anything. But I see there's a bunch of pull requests for this project and there's some nice features in there. So I'm going to cherry pick some of the unmerged pull requests to try and get access to some of these new capabilities that exist in the project. So I'm going to be doing that. I'll just ping out a couple of quick messages. Oops, let's try and press the right buttons, shall we? What's misbehaving here? There we go. Right then, that's done. So we'll put that to one side and that. So I've got a cup of tea. Oh man, I need this morning. Good morning, Popey. Good morning, Yannick. Do you have teas, coffees, or fruit juices or something? You just starting your day? So, I said yesterday, it was yesterday, we were doing some stuff with OBS, and I said, oh, we'll do a fish stream on Friday, but then we got into fish a bit yesterday. And there's something else I've been meaning to do, which is this whole updating this StreamDeck UI for Linux with some cool new features. But then I thought, well, that's implemented in Python, so that gets us using virtual fish. So there's a little bit of a crossover with the fish shell to start. So how to use virtual environments for Python with the fish shell. So we'll start with that very quickly, and then we'll get into forking the StreamDeck UI project and then cherry picking some of the unmerged pull requests to see, do they work, and how much does that improve the StreamDeck experience. So very quickly, I'm running the StreamDeck UI. I'll just switch to this screen here. Like so. Here it is. So this is how you configure things. And it has improved. It was configuring this thing was an absolute pain because you had to click and manually select an image every single time. Whereas now you can just drag icons onto the spots. Which means you can just drag them on really quickly and then configure them, and it takes much less time to configure. So I've got this running from a system install, but then we'll do the development in a virtual environment. So this one can keep working, hopefully. I wonder how it will feel about trying to run two instances of the StreamDeck from the same place. I may actually have to quit this. I'll do that now. I'll quit this one. In fact, while we're here, let's just look very quickly. So I've got some buttons configured here. I've just clicked this one to start this stream. So I'll just explain sort of how I use the StreamDeck. So I dragged an icon on here. I've given it a label, dev start, which means start a let's code stream. So it knows how to sort of configure my environment. And to do that, it runs this shell script. So I'll just show you that shell script very quickly, so you can sort of see how I've set things up, and it enables me to do lots of automation very quickly. So if we just go to scripts, streaming. Also, good morning, Takov, and who else did I see? I saw Linux Paul, welcome back as always. Hello, Kemra, welcome back. Good to see you again. Hello, Jeff. And Yeti Ops, welcome back everyone. Thank you for stopping by. Right then, so let's just make this font a bit bigger so we can see what's going on. So if we just, well, there's a bunch of scripts in here which I have bound to buttons on my StreamDeck at home. I haven't properly configured this one here, which I'll get around to, but these scripts do sort of a lot of my automation for me. So if we just take a quick look at OBS start a dev stream, this is what it does. So it looks for MWCap info, first of all, which is a utility for my HDMI capture board at home, which has got 4 HDMI capture ports on it. And if it finds that, then it runs this script, which configures all 4 ports on the HDMI capture, sets the color spaces and low latency modes and a whole bunch of stuff. Good morning, Mindy. Welcome back. I assume from those emoji that you do in fact have a cup of tea or coffee or something. And Yannick is asking, can you export the configuration? Yeah, you can export the config from the StreamDeck UI, and I use that to like make a backup. So anyway, I then have another script called sync move. And what that does is that moves all the audio source for Spotify off the default output audio device to a null, sort of a null sync that I have for the music, and this enables me to like mix the tracks discreetly. So I do that for Spotify and for Discord, so I can manage those audio tracks specifically for those audio sources. And then it calls a utility called OBS CLI. And it changes the scene to collage, which is just sort of a blank image with my sort of, background collage. And then it sets up all the audio levels. So it sets Spotify to 0. It sets the game audio to 75. So I've got another null sync for when I'm playing games. So again, another discrete audio source. And it sets the null music to 100% and the Discord to 100% as well. And then OBS is then called over the WebSocket to turn on streaming, turn on local recording. We then wait a few seconds, and then it sets to my intro scene, which is the little water drop animation. Waits 5 seconds. And then fades up the Spotify music. So I've written a little script called Spotify volume, which allows me to, well, in fact, I'll do it here. I will push a button on my Stream Deck. The volume should raise by 10%, fade up by 10%. That has faded up, and now I can fade it back down again. And if we have the new option on the end, it will jump to the start of a new randomly selected track in the playlist that I've currently got selected. And then in terms of the rest of the automation, that's in OBS itself. So I've then got OBS to know when the intro dev scene has finished playing, what scene it should transition to next and all the rest of it, which plays all the stingers and stuff. So I've got lots of scripts like this that I bind to buttons on the Stream Deck to fade volume levels for the game audio, the music, and when we're doing our multiplayer gaming, switching which guest is on which camera source and stuff like that. And it's all done just by a series of scripts which basically use OBS CLI to poke at the OBS WebSocket. So that's sort of how I use the Stream Deck. But the Stream Deck utility itself has got some new features, and I would like to try and get access to those. So that's what we're mostly going to be looking at today. So I see there's some questions here. One little minute. So Yannick was asking if you can export the config, to which I said yes. But then Yannick qualified that by saying, do you need a device connected? Yes, you do. It won't work unless you've got a Stream Deck, because it looks at the device to figure out what model you've got and therefore how many buttons to display. And no, so I wouldn't suggest you go down this road for Streamberry because it's quite convoluted. I mean, there is a brilliant Python library underneath the UI, sits on top of a Python library which is just for manipulating the Stream Deck, but you'd have to implement the whole Stream Deck protocols and everything for Streamberry, and I think that's probably a heavy lift. So I think you'd do better to create your own, your own mechanisms. You've got your stuff, Jeff, bowl of matcha. Okay. Mindy asks if I use Pulse or Jack. I use Pulse exclusively. I know Yannick uses Jack. He's not done a very good job of convincing me to switch though. So that's on him. But just to give you an idea of like how Pulse is configured. So this is actually quite an important point. People, you'll find guides on the internet that say, oh, go and edit /etc Pulse. Never ever do that. There's no need to do that ever. In config Pulse in your user profile, there's a couple of not CD. Let's nano. There's a couple of files in here that you can look at. So the first is daemon.conf. And what I do is, because Pulse is run in the user session, okay, so you can make changes in your own home directory that affect how Pulse is used on your system. So what I do is include the system daemon.conf file, because that's managed by the apt packaging, so you should never like overwrite that, because your config will get blown away when there's an update to Pulse. So what I do is I inherit that, and then I just configure the bits that I need that are specific to my system. So these are a bunch of priority tweaks which basically bring down the latency of Pulse. And then because I know my audio interface can support sample rate of 96,000 Hertz, I use that as the default and set the alternate to 4800. I upsample to the maximum that the interface can support. This is very important if you've never done this. This resample method, I think it's speaks float 6 by default. If you change this one thing in Pulse Audio, if you listen to your music with headphones, reasonably decent headphones on, change this setting, restart Pulse with this, the audio quality difference is astonishing. So I think that is, you know, sensible. Then I've just got a couple of tweaks because this suits the way that I do my multi-channel mixing. And then this again, these are latency tweaks to set the number of fragments. This is not a rule for everyone. This is kind of device specific. So that's sort of like how the Pulse daemon works. And then on top of that, I then have the default Pulse Audio config, and again I inherit from the system default, and then I add these here. And so these are creating those null syncs that I was just referring to in my StreamDeck configuration. One for Discord, one for game audio, one for music, and one for a soundboard. And I haven't quite finished setting that up yet, but I have found some software to do that. And if I bring up Pavu Control, you can see that here. You'll only see it for Spotify. Have I got this on the right screen? Yes. So let's just make it a little bit smaller. It's a bit very large. So down the bottom here, here's Spotify playing, and it's playing out over that music null sync. And the way that you're hearing it is that in OBS, I do an audio mix to send the music out over the stream. But it means I can control the music volume independently from anything else I'm doing in OBS. So that's a little insight to, you know, how I'm using Pulse, and I'm hoping Yannick's going to show us how we can do that with Jack at some point. So Linux Paul says, noob-ish question about your scripts. Is it better practice to use user bin env bash as the shebang? Yes, that is best practice, and it means that your shell scripts are relocatable. So for example, if you use your if that shell script gets moved to a container image or, you know, any kind of, you know, foreign environment, you can't always guarantee that bin bash is where bash is going to reside. For example, what if you wanted to compile your own bash, a newer version, and stick it in user local bin? Then it would never be invoked when your scripts run. But if you use user bin env bash, that user local version of bash will be preferred over user bin bash. So yeah, always use user bin env. Bin env, well, on Debian and Linux, that's all symlinked now. So bin env, user bin env, it's the same. Indeed, yeah. So there we go. You're welcome, Linux Paul, my pleasure. So let's get into this. Let's go and find the actual project that we're going to be taking a look at today. So it's the StreamDeck UI, and it's somewhere on GitHub. Here it is. It's this. Now this is a fantastic project. Oh, I wonder if he's merged some other pull requests. Let's just go and look at closed. Oh, he has updated a few things. Wow. Okay, this is good news. So he's updated a few things. So yeah, that's there. Okay, so that's good. So this is the project that we're looking at. But there are some pull requests here that I'm really interested in. So I'm particularly interested in supporting 99 pages, SVG support. I'm not sure what this one is exactly. Oh yeah, this one looked like it was actually quite a bunch of improvements. Export rendered icons, I don't know what that is. Maybe one to load large images faster. Okay. But then this was one that I was really interested in. Because I have got icon sets that are animated GIFs, and I think that would look seriously nice. And it's something that the StreamDeck can do that the Linux version has not been able to do. So I'd like to try that out. And it doesn't have any conflicts. That's good. And set the amount of dimming. I think that's a slider for the actual brightness of the backlit thing. But it does have one of those, so I'm not sure what that is. Then there's this one, 10 new features. And I think this doesn't merge anymore because this was like too much stuff in one. Yeah. So there was like loads of things. So that doesn't merge. But I think what we've got up here are people refactoring some of the things out of here. So what we'll do first of all is we'll just get the current version of this running inside a virtual env. So I'm using Fish Shell as we discussed yesterday.
Thank you for the follow, Sirdaft. Thanks,
Sirdaft. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. So you're welcome, Mindy. Maybe I'll do a proper sort of deep dive into that another time because yeah, it's interesting stuff and it's very helpful. So I've got this shell script which we looked at, yesterday, and this is the additions here. So pip3 install into the user profile virtual fish, which is a plugin for the fish shell to manage virtual Python environments, and then it then runs this script to actually bind the commands. So you can do vf help, and we can see all of the commands to create virtual Python environments. If you're not familiar with virtual Python environments, it's a way to create discrete, in air quotes, isolated Python environments. So you can have different Python libraries and modules in these different environments for different projects that you're working on, which may have incompatible requirements. So we'll create a new, create a new one, VF new, and we'll call it StreamDeck Git. And what I'm going to do is pip. So I'm not going to pip install StreamDeck UI as I have written here, because I think that's going to install like an older point release. I want to install the tip of Git and actually see what that looks like. So what we'll do is we will take this URL, I hope this works, and install that. Can't unpack. Okay, so maybe we'll do it this way then. Change it to the zip file. Oh, I didn't mean to download it. Copy a link and actually pip install the zip file. I think that might work. There we go. So that's taking, you know, a zip export of the tip of Git for the project, and it's now evaluating the requirements file for that project and installing all the stuff that it needs. And we're done. We've just installed the new version. So I'll quit. I've just exited the version of the StreamDeck UI I have running. And if we go to the virtual envs, we've got this environment called StreamDeck Git, and we have a bin here. And in here we should find StreamDeck. So I shall run that. And did that appear on the right monitor? It did. So here it is. This is the StreamDeck GUI that's running from the tip of Git. And it looks almost identical to the version I built in the system maybe 2 weeks ago or something like that. So I don't think there's been any significant changes. I wonder what that icon is there. But you can see here it's found my StreamDeck, which is one of the OG StreamDecks. And there's our 10 pages. So you can create multiple pages here. How many buttons have I got? 15 buttons on this one. So 150 buttons in total, but you kind of need to give up like at least a button on every page for like some kind of navigation to get places. So that's the UI running. So that's all good. We'll exit that for now in case I forget to later. So now what we're going to do is, so hang on a minute. Yannick says he oh, so hang on a moment, there's some other things here. So Serdaf says no worries, with the kids I can't stay, but I saw Popey's tweet and wanted to drop it in for a follow. Thanks very much, Serdaf, if you're still here. So you think there's a bug in the OBS snap? You need to qualify before I nag you. Okay,
thank you for the follow, Sir Shane.
Hello, Sir Shane. Thanks for stopping by and thanks for the follow. Right. So let's fork this repository. So I already have it forked. It knows that, but I want to... Oh, is it not going to let me fork it even though I've renamed it? Oh, you miserable whatnot. Well, I'm just going to go and delete that one. It's very old. I mean, yeah, it's from November. Okay, let's go to settings. This is so diverged from the other one. I don't want to get into trying to merge it. And it's got a bunch of broken patches in there and all sorts. Options, not rename, but delete somewhere at the bottom here. Gosh, remember when these pages were short? Look at all the stuff you can do now. Delete. Right. Right, okay, one moment. I just need to think about this. Okay, over here. This is why I'm going to be changing from LastPass to Bitwarden soon. This is a major drag. Okay. Why that doesn't work, I do not know. Right. Right then, that's done. So now we'll go back to where we were. Right, reload there, and we'll fork that now here. So whilst that's going, we'll start GitKraken, because I'm going to use this to like merge all of this stuff. So we'll have GitKraken here. There we go. And let's have a look here. We'll go there and we will grab that. Let's go and check out that to somewhere sensible. Why didn't it remember that copy buffer? Gosh, that's annoying. Right, there we go. So this is cloning the fork, and now we'll open that up in GitKraken. What were you working on? StreamDeck. Okay, there we go. So it knows I've got my code here, but we will add another remote, which is going to be the upstream project here. Add as a remote. Okay, so hopefully I can see now these pull requests from the upstream project. So what we'll do is look at these that I'm interested in. You can see here the ones that... wonder what the ticks mean exactly, because I'm pretty sure these aren't mergeable. But we'll choose which ones of those we're going to cherry pick. Sir Sharp. Yeah, you're wrong. My password is test. What's this? Bitwarden has its ups and downs, but I still like it better than LastPass. Yeah. LastPass is just not working in the way that I'm trying to use it anymore. And the bug in OBS was between the chair and the keyboard. Okay, that's good to know. One less job for me to do then. Right then, so let's just take a look at some of these pull requests in the upstream project and figure out which ones I most like the look of. Why is that? There we go. So I think the one that I'm most interested in, if I'm honest, is probably this one. So I don't mind about this because that one, as far as I'm concerned, that's there. I know that there's a slider for that. So I'm interested in the GIF support. So I'm definitely wanting to look at that. So we should just check that. I think this said it was definitely mergeable. It is. So we'll give that a go. Export rendered icons. What does this mean? So maybe load large images faster. Okay. It can be merged. Add support for GIF files. Hang on a minute. Is this the same developer? It is. Okay. So this one looks like that commit, it's 7.1b, is in here. It is. Okay, so I can just add that one to get this GIF stuff and maybe other things. And then we've got basic window and tray. So that looks like it's going to add some polish to the UI. And then we've got SVG support. So let's just go and check that that's not in that other commit as well. Add SVG, list SVGs. This would be quite handy. So is SVGs in here? No, it's not. Okay, so those three look good. And then we've got add 99 pages. It can certainly be expanded, but for now be enough. It also has a function to clean the state. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's just a bit crazy. Okay. I can't imagine you'd need that many pages, but okay. This is obviously documentation, so that's fine. Don't need to merge that. Note that login, logout. What? What's this one? Oh, that's a doc change as well. I think that's wrong though. You don't have to log in, log out. You can just reload the UDEV triggers. Okay, and update this. Interesting. Oh, I see. This is the right. This is the automated tooling from GitHub. Right. Okay. So we're going to have a go at export rendered icons, the basic window and tray cleanup, SVG files. Maybe that one. Right then. What have you broken this time, Paul? So let's go over to GitKraken and pull some of that in. So the first one was export rendered icons, right? So we will say how do I do this? I can't remember. Do I do that? And let's make that. That's a bit annoying that won't be made any smaller. Merge request. I thought I've done this before. Copy link. Add. Oh, here we go. Add remote and check out. So add as a remote. I think that's what I need to do. And then I think I can drag that one on there. Merge export onto master. I think that does it. There we go. Okay, there we go. So that's that one done. Then the next one we want is basic window and tray. So we will add that one as a remote. And then we will... Hello, where's it gone? Oh, I need to add it as a remote and check it out, I think. Add basic window. What have I done? Where's it gone? Export. Oh, where's that gone then? Here it is. No, let's close that one. Here it is. Close you. I've lost that branch. Where did it go? Which master is this? Oh, it is mine. Yeah. Export rendered. What am I missing here? No, not that one. Check out. Local branch exists. Oh, master. Okay. Window and tray then. Where is it? I've totally lost what I was looking for here. Oh, here we go. That's the commit. So why can't I? They're all remotes. Where's my local gone? I can't see that for looking. Hang on a moment. I'm just going to need to take a moment. Well, you're learning stuff. Well, maybe not, because I've forgotten how to use the UI. Hello, Luke. Welcome back. How are you doing? Haven't seen you for a while. Right. I have lost where that was checked out to. So I'm a bit confussed about what the heck's going on now. Oh, here it is. Here's the window. That's what I want. Now I can drop that on there and merge onto master. So, good. That's that one. And now we need to look at add support for SVG files. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this, because these are the two features I'm most interested in. So this is going to push the access to, oh, okay. That's fine. Push that. So in my Git repo now, we should see that there are a few commits, which are those changes. There we go. So there's the roll up of that export changes thing. So what we'll do now is we will go to my thing and copy a link to the download zip. We'll then go to the terminal. We will deactivate the virtual environment that I'm currently using. We'll now create a new virtual environment, which we'll call StreamDeck Cherry, which is my cherry-picked version. And now we will pip install the zip export of the tip of Git from my fork. So let's see if it works. Well, it's encouraging that it installs at least. So now we can go to, I think, yeah, I'm going to have to do virtual envs StreamDeck cherry bin StreamDeck, and I don't have it running. Right, okay, well, this is a good start. Is that on the right screen? I think it is. So the UI still works. We can see some changes here. Look, so this is that Windows and trays thing. So it's now got a an about button, and a link to GitHub and a link to the documentation. All of that looks about the same. Now, if I just bring up a file manager, make this a bit smaller, like so, and put you over here. I've got a YouTube and StreamDeck animated icons, full RGB, normal. There's a GIF here, so if I drop that on there, it is animating on the StreamDeck. Okay. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to show that very effectively, but it's not animating here in the GUI, but on the StreamDeck, that is an animated image now. So that button is animated. So let's see if I can at least attempt to show you. You will never see it from this distance. And in fact, I can't angle the overhead camera, and there's not enough wires. You'll just have to take my word for it that is in fact an animated image. So that clearly works. So that's good. So that was the main feature that I wanted, because there's some fun little, you know, animated icons that we can put in there, and it will just fancy up the StreamDeck a bit. Phone photo. Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, what's a photo going to show you? It's going to show you a static image. It works. It does actually work. So that's good, because what I want to do is I want to report back to the upstream project that I've tested this and it's working. Maybe that will give them the confidence to merge these pull requests. Okay, I see you've all gone crazy with the stupid requests now. Just one moment. Let me review the silliness. So let's have a look here. Gosh, there's a lot. I've missed an awful lot. I do apologize. Yes. Okay, so I use Magit, Luke says in Emacs. Not exactly a GUI, but really powerful and quick to learn. Okay, and Esme says I should give that a try too. I've never got any work done. Went through all the cool dev tools. Yeah, I'm looking for dev tools for the new Windows shopping post-pandemic. Ah, yes. Right, okay. Stand up incoming. Right then, let's have a look here. So Mindy says another reason why I should use GitKraken more often. I've used to mess around with Git the CLI. Yeah, I really like GitKraken. It's great, even though I know you can do a lot of things, but I couldn't. Sometimes the UI is just a little bit like, why can't I just right click on that and say, I want to merge this into my master? It's got all the facilities there. It would be nice if there was just some like handheld paths. There are handheld paths for some of that when you're using all local branches. But when you've got remotes, it would be nice sometimes to say, I want that remote merged into my master, and it's just not as straightforward as I would like it to be sometimes, but it's still way easier than the other options. So, and installing the package from the local Git repo is an option. Yes, indeed, you can do that. I could have done the pip install just by going to the local I'll show you what I mean. You're quite correct though. Yes, you can do that. I will show you. Now let's just close that. Can't do that, can I? I'm going to have to close the app here. Exit there. Oh, transport error, no HID device. Well, that can't be a good. Oh, is it because I've done silly things? Okay. F2. One moment. There we go. Right, there we go. That finally got it. Right then. So yes, if I was in the StreamDeck UI, I could have just done pip install dot, which would have done exactly the same as dragging that zip file down. The reason I drag the zip file is because if there are Git submodules, then that might not work using the zip master file. And when I write my scripts to just install a bunch of software, I usually go and I usually do it by pip installing from, you know, zip exports in Git hub, if that's a viable option, because you can use tags as well, you know, tagged releases that way. Right then. It's all fixed now. Not the boss of the geek world. I am a geek though, I don't deny that. Right then, so let's go back to GitKraken. Let's see if those other two bits that we wanted. So SVG files. So let's do... what did I do the first time? So check out that. There it is. So it's done the right thing here, and now I can just drag that on there and merge it into master. Merge conflicts detected. Here we go. Let's see how bad it is. Okay. Okay, well, I don't mind about lock files. So we will take that one because it's newer. We'll just assume that that's going to be fine. Here we go. What have we got changed here? That's newer. Okay, so we'll take that one. Oh, actually, so yes, this is newer on here than on the SVG support. Okay, but we'll take that. And oh, what have we got here?
Follow Keko34 Keko.
Hey Keko, thanks very much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. So it looks like here there's a whole bunch of extra stuff. Additional packages and dependencies. And where's debug py? Here it is. So that's, well, oh, okay. We'll take that version, but then we'll, here that we've got a slightly newer revision. So we'll take that line from that one. And is that the same? That looks the same. So that's that dealt with. And is that the end of the... Oh, what was this? So we'll take this one. So what I'm looking at here is this is the current state of master, and this is the current state of that SVG support branch. So I'm able in GitKraken to say which bits of the different branches I want, and the bottom panel is where those get aggregated. Hey Data Dev, thanks very much. So we're just dealing with the conflict, but in a way that I retain the new features from SVG support, but also the slightly newer dependencies that are already in Git master because of the other branch we merged earlier. So here's another example. So ticking this just takes the whole block, but then you can also pick individual lines as well, which is obviously what I did earlier too. Well, here we go. This is that all seems fine. Well, this is the newer version. Sphinx. I'm just going to keep that version. I can't see why that whole block is different, but it doesn't seem to be new stuff. This is clearly newer, so we'll take that. Oh gosh, package dependencies. Is there anything missing here? Is there anything there that this one doesn't have? No. This is a superset of the other, so we'll take that one. And that's a newer than the other side, so we'll keep that. Again, newer. Newer. Now, this could be an interesting one because this has got what looks to be some extra bits in it. Async generator, for example. So that's definitely got new pieces. What else? That's fine. So I'm going to take, although this has got code coverage and coverage, has that got those? No. Okay. And so I think we'll take this one. Can I go down here? I think I can. And so the missing one is a sync generator. There we go. So I think that is, this one here now represents the aggregate of everything. I think that's good enough. What have we got here? This is newer. We'll just take that, or retain it rather. This is newer. We'll keep this. Similarly, we'll keep that one. We're only halfway through the file. I really hope there's not too much more of these. Notebook. Take that. Take this. I actually wonder whether this file is necessary to do all of this, but nevertheless, it's a good example of how you do the merging of diverged branches. Right, that's newer. 500 follows. Oh, really? Wow. Holy smoke. So it is. Well, thanks everyone. Who was that then? So Keko, you were the Santi Moore. Thank you very much.
Santi_more.
Thank you. Well, thank you for those of you that followed today. I didn't even realize that that landmark was approaching. Hey, thanks. This is brilliant. Thank you very much, everyone. I really appreciate the follows. That's great. So let's just dig through this very quickly. I really hope there aren't many more of these to go. Here we go. What's this? That's just a newer version. We'll keep that one. Same here. Keep what we currently have in master. Same again. What's this? This is Windows stuff. Well, that's clearly got more. It's a superset. Oh, yeah, that's newer. Okay. So I think on this, when I comment on this pull request that's in the upstream Git repo, I think I'm going to suggest that they rebase on Git master, because then it will be easier for the upstream project to, because they won't want to go through this exercise unless they're using GitKraken, of course, because it makes it infinitely easier, although it's still a bit of a chore. That all looks fine. It's just a rev there, so we'll keep that. We'll definitely keep this. Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to keep this side of that. If in doubt, stick to master bleach. These are definitely newer. And same here, that's newer. We're nearly done yet. We're nearly done yet. Debug pi. Keep all of that. and this, and this, and this, and this one, and this one. The other two are going to be quicker to do than this because they're not going to be thousands of lines of dependencies. They should be much easier. He says. I really hope they're going to be easy. So, are we done yet? Oh, come on. We must... Right, come on, come on, come on. I'm bored with this now. It's merge simulator. Okay. Come on. No more, no more, no more. I want to get on to the interesting ones. Oh boy. It looks like I'm at the bottom of the... There, we're done. Okay, save. So that's that one done. We'll now look at this. So what have we got here? They've got fractions as they've added. So we've got two things to add here. We need to retain these lines for the GIF support, but then add that Cairo SVG, because obviously this whole PR was about adding SVG support. Pull request simulator. I know, right? So hopefully, is that all we've got in this one? I don't see anything else in there. So that was nice and straightforward, that one, right? So hopefully you can see what I've done there. We've got this import Cairo SVG, which is new this side, but then we had these two changes, which are from newer PRs from the tip of Git in master. So by taking those lines and just adding this, we get this aggregate here, which adds the new feature and retains the newer bits from upstream. So we'll save that one. And now we'll do this one. So it says ping JPEG boomp GIF. So we're going to keep this line, but we're going to add, why does it star GIF? So I'm going to keep this line, but then I'm going to edit slightly because I think that should be that. And then we need to add the SVG line like so. So that should be the aggregate of those two. And I wonder if there's any other lines. No, really? Is that all that's required? Okay. Save that. So there are our changes, but oh, I see. Some of these got merged just fine. Okay, so that's good. I was just thinking those two lines didn't look like enough to actually add SVG support, but here we go. There's our loading an SVG and turning into a ping, so that makes sense. Okay, good. So we'll commit that and merge it. So that's that one done. And then there was this support for 99 pages. Let's check it out. It's what? Okay, let's drag that on. Well, let's go and look at what the changes are. Oh, it's literally that. Okay, and then it's that. Okay. Well, let's drag it on and see what we get. Merge it in Merge conflicts. Do you want to do this now? Yes. Main UI. Okay. Action docs. GitHub. Okay. So we actually want to keep this and this. So there we go. Although calling it action test 2 and test 2, this is a very poor quality commit. I'm not sure. Let's just save that one for now. And UI main. We want to keep those, we know. We'll add those because we'll need them. And is there anything else? I don't think there will be. I think that's the only changes. So we'll save that. Oh, you have unresolved. Cancel, do I? What have I missed? Oh, here we go. So we need, again, we need both sides of this. We need those and that. I think what I'm going to do is change this because it was pages, I think, is what it actually, maybe I shouldn't. What was it originally? Let's leave it alone. I could refactor it afterwards. Test 2. Let's just leave it as test 2. So hopefully it knows I've meddled with it. Let's get rid of that line. Right. Okay. Oh, goodness me. Turn. Let's just select them both from scratch. Right. Is that it now? Save. Yes. Okay. Commit and merge. And we'll use Mindy's suggestion and actually now install this from the local version of the Git. I never heard, what did I call it? Bumps? Bitmaps? I wasn't aware of what I said. So Jim G says, is this conflict resolution in GitKraken? Yes, that I was doing the conflict resolution in GitKraken. That's quite correct. And now we can run the binary again and it falls over. So clearly that's no good. So what we'll do is we'll look at the Git log and we will revert that one to start with. What? Git revert error commit is a merge, but no M option was okay. Yeah. Oh, actually, let's do this. Let's do git check out this. There we go. Now let's reinstall from Git and see if just the SVG patch worked. So now we'll run the GUI again and that works. So how can I test that the SVG works? I'm going to have to find my file picker. Oh, hello. That isn't the file picker. I closed it. Okay, let's open a new file picker and let's go and find development, Ubuntu Mate, brand artwork, Ubuntu Mate Rondel Green SVG and drag that on there. Woohoo! So that works. So the SVG support works, but that millions of pages thing did not. So that's great. So what we'll do is we'll go to GitHub, not GitHub, GitKraken. I didn't really care for that. We'll go back to here and say reset here hard head, and is that going to do its thing? And why reset head to this commit, discard all changes? And why is it not giving me the master? I don't want this. Revert. Okay, well, that should be fine. Right, well, I'm happy in that I have the new features that I wanted. So we've got SVG support for buttons now. That'll be nice. And we've got animated GIFs, and I can see the animated GIF is still running on the StreamDeck down here. So that's pretty good. So if I think what we'll do is I'll figure out an elegant way to sort of install this fork. But if you don't care about animated GIFs or SVG support, then you can just install from the tip of Git of the upstream project, and it is a way better GUI than it was a couple of months ago, in that you can drag pings and JPEGs and what have you onto the buttons. And that was the bit that used to take too long, because you always used to have to click image, navigate to where you wanted the image, and do each button one at a time. It used to take blooming hours. And now you can just open up your folder of your StreamDeck icon theme and just drag all the icons where you want them, drag them all around and arrange them. And once you've got them all arranged, then you can just go in and say, well, this is the command that I want to run for each of the buttons. So it's way quicker to clean up. And of course, we can now do this as well, which it never had before. Yes, I want to get rid of this image, which it never had. You used to have to open the file picker and not choose anything last time. It was crazy. So the tip of Git has those features. So if you have a StreamDeck and you want to use it with that there Linux, then this is the tool to use. And the upstream project is here, this one. So in fact, whilst I'm here, let's just go in here and say add GIF support. So I'm going to say in this one, but also includes 136. So there we go. That hopefully that's helpful to the project maintainers. And what was the other one we did? It was this one. There we go. So again, hopefully the project maintainers will see that, and you know, it will help them maybe get those merged up a bit quicker. So this is the project. I have seen others, but I haven't seen any that are as mature, and it seems to be coming along. There seems to be a bunch of people contributing to it now, which is great. So thank you all very much for stopping by. I appreciate all of the follows. That was quite unexpected. So thank you to the new followers. And for those of you that are new here, I stream breakfast time, sort of European hours, most weekday mornings. And do stuff like this. So goofing around with Linux desktop stuff, either Ubuntu based, you know, distros, or packaging for Debian and Ubuntu and all the rest of it. You spotted the shirt. Yeah, It takes a special kind of nerd to know what that is. When I'm not doing that sort of stuff, over on Slim DevOps on Twitch, I work for Slim AI. We do container related workshops and tutorials, and in fact we're doing an office hours in our Discord channel later. And in the evenings I do more sort of Linux desktop development focused stuff. But also on the weekends do gaming on Linux with some of my friends, of whom there are many in the live chat now. So if you like a bit of Linux in your life, then you're in the right spot, because that's all I do is Linux related stuff here. So thank you all very much for coming by. Have a great weekend, and I hope that I will see you maybe at the weekend for some
C432.
Thanks very much for the follow, Ashley. I appreciate that, and welcome to the stream. Bye for now. Have a good weekend, and do stop by for our multiplayer real-time racing at the weekend, where we hurt Threadrippers and RTX 3090s like you've never seen. So thanks everyone. I'll see you soon. Bye for now. I'm going to press a button on my Stream Deck, see if it works.